Are we good now?
We're good. Loud and clear.
Let's go.
There we go.
All right.
Audio on point. There we go.
Get familiar.
I know y'all have heard that tag 1,000 times. And so what I'm going to do is introduce you because your resume is so dense that I have to literally read it like a script. But I'm excited for today because this is going to be, Clinton's a person who I can respect because he is a businessman wrapped in all these other talents. And that's what I like. It's the thought process. It's a mindset type of thing. And I think we could learn a lot just having a genuine conversation. So real quick, let me go through this whole entire resume as to who we're listening to and why you should listen today and why we're going to have a lot of fun. So Clinton Sparks is an entrepreneur, definitely for sure, investor, executive, author, and marketing maven disguised, as I said, as a Grammy-nominated multi-platinum DJ, producer, and songwriter. Clinton Sparks is the CEO and founder of Get Familiar Inc. Excuse me. A marketing, strategy, and consulting firm helping companies and brands connect, align, and amplify, as well as the CEO and co-founder of Get Familiar Tech. This is what threw me. I didn't know this. A technology company providing innovative solutions and services specializing in service automation, data analytics, and system and cloud integration. We got to dig into that a little bit. That's unique. Additionally, Clinton is the co-owner and co-founder of CBDO of the esports lifestyle gaming brand, which is dope, called Exit. I say Exit. He is the owner of the first national monetizable hip hop radio station, Get Familiar Radio. I like the little brand. I just saw you switch the brand in the back. And co-founder and owner of Bootay, a state-of-the-art women's athleisure line. And that's not even all. He has a slideshow of all his brands. That's how dope it is.
I was trying to find. It's,
I love that. I saw the Bootay logo, top left.
All right. Well, this is pretty much why we're here. For
There we
this
go.
one right here.
Indeed.
And I'm an author.
And author, exactly. A lot.
Right.
Your resume is dense. And just to capsulize it for everybody else, because again, this is the reason why they should listen. Clinton is a Grammy-nominated multi-platinum record producer and publisher responsible for selling over 75 million records. He's won BMI Songwriter Awards with his C Sparks Entertainment Inc. company, as well as a recipient of numerous ASCAP Music Awards, DJ Snake, as part of his Get Familiar Music publishing. And he's written and produced hits for Lady Gaga, Beyonce, Rick Ross, Diddy, Pitbull, Ludacris, Big Sean, Akon, 2 Chainz, and on and on and on. Whew, that was a book just reading what you've accomplished.
You know, it's funny. Like, this sounds like almost pompous, but when I was having my website built recently, which by the way, took me like 3 years to get it back because I had an old manager that that had the ownership to my domain name, and when we parted ways, he became very vindictive and evil and held on to it. So I had to pull out big guns and hire a lawyer and get the right people. I ended up becoming friends with the owner of, what's the name of it? Domain Registry or something like that. It was like another GoDaddy. In fact, GoDaddy just bought them, and the guy's like a billionaire now because of it. But I befriended the CEO of that company, and he helped me get my domain name back. But, you know, that all goes in. And by the way, that's all stuff that, you know, you learn to be able to write a book like this to teach you the things that you need to watch out for and how to properly plan and plan to fail, because everyone's going to fail. And if you don't plan to fail, you don't know how to deal with it when it happens. So that I got my domain name back. And the reason I brought that up is to your point of, as we were putting a chronological kind of accomplishments throughout my 20-year career, every year I did something so killer that like somebody would just use that 1 year for the rest of their life to say, this is what I did. This is why I'm awesome. Right. And but I don't even realize that until I went back and looked at it and we were going through it. And I was like, holy shit, man. Like, fuck, man, I've accomplished so, because when you don't know you're making history when you're making it. Right. And somebody like me, I work, put it out, work, put it out, work, put it out, work, put it out. I don't sit and relish or pat myself on the back for all like the greatness that I do. And more people think I'm more awesome than I think I am. Do you know what I'm saying? So when you have that kind of mentality, you're not sitting there worried about numbers and followers and likes, and you're just worried about being dope, because dope floats. Dope wins. You can't hide dope. If you're dope, people are going to find you. So you don't have to run around bragging how dope you are. Just be dope, and the world will find out, as long as you're doing the right things to make sure the world knows you're dope. You don't have to run around saying, I'm dope. You just do the things that people can see that you're dope by putting out dope content, by putting out great music, by having dope marketing, by creating dope network, by communicating in a dope way, and all that stuff. By the way, I teach you this in my book, How to Win Big in the Music Business. By the way, Damon John of Shark Tank and FUBU, depending your age range, wrote the foreword to this book. So I'm really excited about having this book, because there hasn't been another book like this since the Passman book, which is like, what is that, 25 years old now? And it's like, that's really the quintessential book for people that are trying to understand how to, succeed in the music business. But it's so thick. There's so much information. There's so much legal jargon. There's so many things that the average, 17, 18, 19, 20, 25-year-old person, like, I was thinking, what do people want? They just want to know, how do I win? How do I go viral? How do I get a deal? How do I monetize? How do I market myself? What are the most effective, efficient ways to do so? How, if I don't really have that much money, can I still contend with those that do have money? And that's what I want. That's why this book, look how thin it is. Like, you read the book, right? The book gets to the point. It's just going to teach you how to do more dope shit and less whack shit. And by the way, the principles and the values in this book are transferable to any industry. So whether you're a gamer, a content creator, influencer, or you're a rapper, singer, DJ, producer, manager, videographer, A&R, you just want to do anything, even if you're an entrepreneur and starting up a company, the things you learn in this book are applicable to all of those, including your own personal relationships. In fact, relationships is how you win. So really a focal point of this is how to develop those relationships, the best way to maintain those relationships. And it's how I've been super successful is through my career, is because of my relationships. The saying, your network is your net worth, is, there's no truer words. I can pick up the phone and pretty much call anybody in the music business, because I've done good business. I've built a strong relationship. I mean what I say what I mean. And I provide quality opportunities for people. So that's why I can write a book like that, and why I continue to have a resume like you just read.
Right. I was like, it's a book reading the resume. And I'll let the people know, we had a conversation offline, which I got to know you a little bit more on a real level. And I'm coming here to say this because they need to understand the depth of your character. For example, I call out a lot of people on Cap and all that type of stuff on Clubhouse, this and that. And our whole thing is authenticity. And I said, I probably haven't met anybody more authentic and more genuine and like sincere about what you're saying than you. I don't think I've ever, close is my best friend Jacob. Shout out to Jacob. But outside of Jacob, you're probably the most authentic person. And I think that's why you resonate. Is my mic getting lower, or am I?
No, you sound great. Thank you. Those are really strong words. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
It's all good. I was just making sure my mic levels aren't getting too low.
Your mic sounds nice. Check one.
Check,
right?
check. But yeah,
who said that? Who was I quoting?
I have no idea.
Salt and pepper, baby. Get familiar.
He has his own soundboard. Let's go. But I just wanted to let people know, like, this is a perfect moment to really explore thought. And so as you have so much stuff to kind of work backwards from, I would like to actually start from the seed and understand how the tree grew from underground and how the roots grew and then grew into the tree. Because this is why I love having you on, because your pathway was so crafted by like what you believed in, that it's not the beaten path. So I really want to understand how you evolved from just the seed of the idea when you were a child or however far back it went. And then let's work our way through like your thought processes or life events that shifted. And then you had to kind of mold yourself into these pockets. How did that all work?
So I started off in Boston, broke. Father was an alcoholic, almost killed my mother, left us when we were young. I always grew up like in the lower class neighborhoods, and was bullied, sexually abused for like 5 years when I was young. But I think like to really explain who I am and why I am is to understand all of the things I was exposed to when I was a kid, because I think that plays a huge role in one, tolerance, experience, understanding. So like everything from my mother had like gay and lesbian people living in our house like when I was young, so it was totally normal to me, right? I was like one of the only white kids in my neighborhood, and most of my mom's friends were black. So like diversity and just everybody getting along was just totally normal to me. I was in the streets late night committing crimes, doing dirt, so it was just like totally normal to me, right? So like the way that I grew up, and being around alcoholism, like whether it was my father leaving and other friends of mine or people that I knew whose parents were alcoholics, like there was just so much kind of like I learned what the worst life had to offer really early, right? And plus I also was exposed to so many different like cultures and races and like people and personalities, and I was really analytical, and I think being sexually abused when I was young made me super intuitive and attentive, because I remember that I used to wonder, why does he do this? It wasn't like just like, oh, woe is me, or look, I'm victimized. I used to think like, what happened to this dude? Why does he feel the need to do this? Why is a grown 6'4" dude, 200 and something pounds, attracted to a little boy? You know what I mean? Like I know it sounds very like morbid and grim what I'm talking about right now, but it's kind of like what made me who I am. To be able to do all the things that you just pointed out would be somebody that understands different personalities, different people, demographics, like cultures, personalities. And growing up, I was very analytical, and I assessed everything from people and personalities to like, why is that guy beating up his dog? To like, why did this guy abandon his family? To why is he an alcoholic?